This year, everyone is looking on in amazement. As the effects of the pandemic subsided, something else broke out. Shock, shock, shock. The doomed aircraft returned. That aircraft is the A380. However, it was not Emirates or Lufthansa that brought it back to life. This time, an unknown startup called Global Airlines would take the stage. This was a complete marketing ploy. These abandoned giants were purchased by Global Airlines, then restored and transformed into spaces that could be described as floating palaces. The cabins are extremely luxurious, and they claim the plane will be comfortable. Headlines read, "The golden age of the A380 is back." Analysts, passengers, and aviation forums were all deeply impressed by this new company. The aviation industry had said this aircraft would be costly, but now everyone wants it. There is no trace of the aircraft. No new orders have been announced. No published flight schedules exist. The important Air Operator Certificate, AOC, issued by the UK Civil Aviation Authority, has not yet been found. Everyone is wondering where this airline company is now and what it is doing. When did the silence begin? The big reveal. In the spring of 2025, Global Airlines made a big splash by showcasing the delivery of two A380s, which was a perfect time for maximum media impact. Everyone in the aviation industry was watching them. The CEO said some very attention-grabbing things. Cabin tours went viral on YouTube and Instagram. They promised you could charge your phones everywhere. And they vowed the plane would be a very luxurious one. This dream burst like a bubble. Where are the planes? The two delivered A380s were first spotted in Vatry and Birmingham. Aviation enthusiasts eagerly followed every step. However, the aircraft disappeared again shortly thereafter. It is claimed that the aircraft is undergoing routine maintenance, but it is still not even in the sky. No other A380 deliveries have been made. Flight routes have not been announced. No official flight operations have been conducted beyond cabin promotional videos. And most importantly, the Air Operator's Certificate, AOC, required to operate as an airline has not yet been obtained. Why is the UK AOC being delayed? Global Airlines had planned to collaborate with the UK Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, to purchase an AOC from the United Kingdom. However, after Brexit, the licensing procedure became even stricter. The aircraft is apparently ready now, but the procedure prohibits its use because the necessary conditions have not been met. The company's lack of operational history and active flight record further complicates the situation and draws more attention from the CAA. For this reason, flying the aircraft and carrying passengers is prohibited. Is Saudi Arabia getting involved? This is where things get interesting. Industry experts claim that Global Airlines and Saudi investment funds are in talks. As part of Vision 2030, these funds are making significant investments in the travel and tourism sector. If this is correct, their plan is to offer a very luxurious flight experience. This aircraft may not be manufactured in Europe and may be sold to Saudi Arabia and manufactured there. These are just speculations. Nothing is certain yet. Aircraft owners in the aviation sector still want this aircraft. Do you think Saudi Arabia will get involved? This is where it gets interesting. According to industry experts, Global Airlines and Saudi investment funds may be in talks. The people providing the funding value tourism and want to contribute to it. If this is true, their goal may not be just to establish an airline, but to create an entirely new luxury air travel experience. It's not certain, but it will most likely leave the UK. Alternatively, it could move to Saudi Arabia and use the A380s as ultra-luxury private jets or as part of a charter program. However, all of this is still speculation. Despite the silence, delays, and uncertainty, some aviation professionals have not given up on Global Airlines. Why? Because this is not just a new airline. It is a marketing success story. This aircraft needs to capture everyone's attention, and they are considering creating a promotional video to showcase it effectively. Why is this still important? Recognition is more important than money. A visually striking project like Global Airlines could enhance tourism strategies and establish a marketing initiative by selling to countries in the East. As a visionary project, it could still receive support. Remember that the Airbus A380 is no longer in production. Supply is limited, and it's a company unlike any other. If they pull this off, it will be something truly different. The market is open to everyone. Can they pull it off? That's the real question. The real danger, erosion of trust. However, the risk of losing credibility is growing every day. Will this happen? Is always asked. The planes are no longer being tracked by observers. No one in the media is paying attention. Global social media accounts have been silent for weeks. What is the most challenging aspect of starting an airline? Reputation. Making headlines is incredibly easy, but once something falls from the top to zero, it's very difficult to climb back up. This company's biggest problem is communication. There is no history of the aircraft, nothing, so it's uncertain. According to some aviation experts, Global Airlines may never operate commercial flights. A sales plan shrouded in secrecy. New flights should have been launched and luxury flights should have been offered. For that, it should have moved to a luxury location. However, there is no viable airline in any of these situations and lead to a different path. The importance of this project, in any case, Global Airlines has had a long-term impact on the industry, even though it has not yet fully launched. This aircraft has proven to everyone that it is still viable. The reason is that it has begun to be sought after in Asia and Europe. We must now embrace the idea that these planes should be luxurious, and the downside is that this could lead to an economically unfavorable trajectory. The power of storytelling and branding. Is there another airline company that has garnered this much attention from a single route? Global Airlines has demonstrated the importance of design and glamour on social media. Most importantly, Global Airlines reminded us that people still get excited about flying. The A380 brought our dreams back, and this can have a greater impact than any profit-loss statement could achieve. What does this mean for new airlines? For a startup like Global Airlines, the most valuable asset isn't the planes, it's courage. No one takes risks because it costs money. Even when ordering new planes, they optimize spreadsheets, stick to fleet partnerships, and plan a decade in advance. However, impossible dreams like the 747 helped aviation evolve. Today, if we want aviation to thrive again, we need a bit of romance, a bit of madness, and a bit of vision. That's why entrepreneurs are the most important people in the aircraft market, whether they succeed or fail. Was the A380 a necessity or a choice? Global Airlines' launch of the Airbus A380 was like a dream come true for aviation enthusiasts. Seeing the longest aircraft in the sky is a huge thing, but no one marketed this aircraft. However, was there a real strategic vision behind this decision, or was it more of a publicity stunt? We need to develop in the aircraft business, but to do so, we need to use our heads. Was the A380 a choice or a necessity? For aviation enthusiasts, Global Airlines' launch of the Airbus A380 was like a dream come true. They want to make a splash with something no one has heard of before. But was this choice the product of a real strategic vision, or was it more of a public relations stunt? Certification issues. Where is the AOC? However, vision alone is not enough in aviation. An Air Operator Certificate, AOC, is required, and this company is still not in Europe. The first tests were conducted and applauded by everyone at the launch, but the only issue is that there are no flight plans. Many operational infrastructures, including ground support equipment and cabin crew training, may still be lacking. According to industry experts, the certification process is proceeding surprisingly quietly. This suggests that the AOC application has not yet been officially submitted, or that there may have been significant internal delays. Behind the scenes rumors. There is a lot of speculation about Global Airlines on aviation forums, particularly airliners.net and Reddit. They could build planes similar to those of other airlines, which is a bit silly, and they are in talks with Saudi Arabian partners. According to some reports, Global Airlines aims to transfer the project to a consortium in the Middle East. A luxurious cabin requires luxurious amenities for a comfortable and enjoyable flight, and this is what everyone desires. Thus, this project, which began with the dream of reviving the A380, is now floating in the uncertainty of the ground level rather than in the sky. They had very good ideas. However, aviation requires precise implementation and unwavering confidence, so it rewards more than just big ideas. Will anything be said about this company? Or was this silence a farewell echo? Is the arrival of the new generation of luxury long-haul flights still near? Or was the A380's return just a final applause? Join the conversation and share your thoughts in the comments section.